So today we're going to learn about the dative of possession. Let's dive into it. First off, with a quick review of the genitive of possession. Everyone's favorite case of possession because it's the simplest. And it's also the most common. As we look here, we have the uncle ship, navus avunculi, and the ship of the uncle, navus avunculi. It's as simple as if you have a noun possessing another noun, the most common format is to put the noun that is doing the possessing into the genitive case. So we look at the uncle's ship or the ship of the uncle. In both these cases, the same noun is doing the possessing. Which noun is that? It is uncle. Yes, uncle is doing the possessing. It's the ship of the uncle. It's the uncle's ship. So in both those cases, we're going to take the word uncle in Latin, avunculus, and put it into the genitive case, avunculi. Let's do a little practice, shall we? Just so we really can prove to ourselves we understand this concept. If you guys want to pause the video and do these, you'll see the answers. We won't really go over them because I think you just seeing the answers written out in front of you will be enough of a review in and of itself. If you have questions on this, you should shoot me an email. Here are the answers. As we see here, I've taken the word woman and put it into the genitive, fleet and put it into the genitive, and eruption, incendium, and put it into the genitive case. In all these cases, the reason I put the italicized word into the genitive is because it is doing the possessing. It was possessing the other noun in the sentence, which is going to be whatever case it needs to be based off of its use in the sentence. Whether that other noun is the subject of the direct object or some sort of ablative construction, it'll get its case from that. But the word that's doing the possessing will be genitive. All right, moving on to the new topic at hand, the dative of possession, a little bit more complex. The way we're going to recognize it is if we see a third person of sum with a noun that looks to be in the dative case. Normally, it's usually a pretty short expression too. There are longer ones which are more complex, but most of the times we're going to see it in the near future. It will be a short sentence with a nominative, a dative, and a third person singular or plural form of sum. And as it says here for the formula, the word that's being possessed will be in the nominative and will be the subject of the third person verb of sum. And the word that's actually doing the possessing will be in the dative, which is a little funky. And so we'll look at a couple different examples so that we can kind of get the hang of this. Equus est avunculo. So by the formula above, the thing being possessed is the horse, and the person possessing is the uncle, which is in the dative case, avunculo. So there's a literal translation of this, which would be, there is a horse to my uncle, or to the uncle, or the horse is to the uncle. And if you say that aloud, you can kind of hear that the uncle is doing the possession in English, but it's a little bit, it's not good English, right? So the best translation for this is actually that the uncle has a horse, which means that when we translate datives of possession, we're going to translate the to be verb as have or has, right? We're going to translate the sum verb as have or has, which is a little funky. We're going to translate the dative word as the noun doing the having, and the nominative word as the noun receiving the having. And so that's a lot of abstract words and sayings. So let's make it a little bit more concrete. Here are some examples. You can try it on your own now if you'd like and pause the video. But I'm going to walk you through a couple. So maybe you want to pause it after you've heard me walk you through a couple more examples and see if you can do one or two on your own. All right. So first off is one we've seen many times before, mihi nomen est. Yes, we finally actually know what construction is going on here. We know why mihi is dative. Ego mei mihi me me. Mihi is dative because what this sentence really says is that I have a name, or there is a name to me, mihi. Two ways to construct that. In both cases, mihi is a dative of possession, and it is possessing the nominative nomen. All right, so keeping that in mind, there's a slight twist in number 2. See if you can do it on your own. what's going on here is that it's the farmhouse was to us, or we have a farmhouse, literally, if we follow the formula of dative has nominative. The reason why I said we had a farmhouse is because erat is no longer in the present tense. It's the imperfect of sum, so we have to make the having in the past tense too. So we say we had a farmhouse. We no longer have a farmhouse. We had a farmhouse. Nobis villa erat. All right, next one. Switch up the word order a little bit. Naves matri sunt. This is the mother has ships. This is a little weird because the reason why sunt is plural here, even though the possessor is singular, right? There's still just one possessor, the mother, singular. The reason why sunt has to be plural is because the thing being possessed is plural. So, right, literally this is there are sunt ships, naves, to my mother, to the mother. And so that's a little bit of a funky idea. The key thing is just to remember that the word in the dative is doing the possession. The word in the dative is doing the possession. That's why we call it the dative of possession, just like we call it the genitive of possession. The genitive of possession when the genitive was the word doing the possessing. So it's the same formula there. All right, I'm going to show you a couple more examples that I want you to try on your own after you see these answers. And I just realized that I neglected to make this. So if you want to cover your screen real quick, don't look. I'm going to fix this. Actually, I don't know if I can fix this. All right, fine. Try them on your own. Imperium regi est. Try to not look at the English. I put it out there. I apologize. You can try this one at least on your own. If you want to pause the video, I'm going to copy it in. There it is. The king has power. His power to the king. You can look at these, walk through them a little bit more, see if you understand them on your own. We'll do a couple more examples truly from scratch, and we'll do some from English to Latin in class tomorrow if we have time. If not, we'll do it next week because we got to celebrate Rome's birthday tomorrow. All right, walete, I should say, because I'm talking to a group. See y'all.